Michael Hayes stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows of his Manhattan penthouse, looking down at the waking city. Luxury surrounded him: minimalist designer furniture, polished marble floors, expensive art pieces, yet none of it could fill the emptiness inside his chest. He had everything people dreamed about: millions in his accounts, a thriving tech company he had built from the ground up after the tragic death of his parents, influence, respect, freedom, and still, every morning he woke up with the same crushing feeling that something essential was missing. Soft sunlight slowly filled the living room, reflecting off glass and steel surfaces. Michael finished his espresso in one swallow. His housekeeper, Martha, always made it perfectly, but today, like every day, it tasted hollow. What am I missing? He wondered while adjusting his suit cuffs. It felt absurd. He had achieved more than most people twice his age. Yet success brought no peace, only a quiet, persistent loneliness. Instead of calling his driver, Michael decided to walk. The crisp morning air felt refreshing after the artificial climate of his apartment. He wandered into Central Park, letting the sounds of the city fade into rustling leaves and distant footsteps. That's when he saw her. An elderly woman sat alone on a worn wooden bench, wrapped in an old, faded coat that had clearly seen better years. Her hands looked weathered, almost fragile, but her eyes, tired yet unbroken, caught his attention immediately. Their gazes met. For a brief moment, Michael felt as if he were looking into an entire lifetime of stories: pain, endurance, wisdom. "Good morning," he said gently. She nodded silently, studying him with a mixture of curiosity and caution. "Are you cold?" he asked. "I'm used to it," she replied in a raspy voice. "Warmth is relative." Michael opened his bag, pulled out a thermos of coffee, and offered it to her. She hesitated for a second, then accepted it with trembling hands. My name is Michael," he said. "Olivia," she answered quietly, taking a careful sip. "Do you have somewhere to stay?" he asked, surprising himself. She looked straight into his eyes, as if testing his sincerity. "I have a place," she said. But Michael sensed the lie immediately. "I can help," he said. "I have a detached garage at my house in Brooklyn. It's empty. You could stay there for a while." Her eyebrows tightened in confusion. "Why would you do that?" she asked bluntly. Michael paused. The truth was, he didn't fully know himself. Maybe he wanted to help. Maybe he wanted meaning. Maybe he wanted to feel human again. "Because I can," he finally said. The garage slowly transformed into a temporary home. Cardboard boxes became shelves. A worn mattress was covered with fresh blankets. Olivia moved carefully around the space, trying to create a sense of comfort she hadn't felt in years. Michael stood in the doorway watching her. His tailored suit and polished shoes looked almost surreal in the modest setting. "You don't have to do all this," he said. She turned to him, eyes warm. "I've learned to build a home anywhere," she replied. "Life teaches you that." They began having breakfast together every morning. Simple meals: scrambled eggs, toast, coffee. Olivia watched him with quiet amazement, as if she couldn't believe someone would do this for her. "Why are you helping me?" she asked one day. Michael hesitated. His life was filled with board meetings, investor calls, negotiations, a world where emotions rarely mattered. "Sometimes people just need a chance," he said slowly. "A small chance to change something." Olivia listened carefully. Behind her eyes lived years of loss, humiliation, survival, but also a tiny spark of hope. As days passed, a special bond formed between them. She began telling stories about her youth. She had once been a painter. She dreamed of becoming a recognized artist. "Art isn't just paint on canvas," she said. "It's your soul. It's what you leave behind." For Michael, those words felt like a revelation. For the first time, he sensed something deeper than profit margins and quarterly growth. One morning, while they drank coffee, Olivia suddenly asked, "Are you happy, Michael?" The question caught him off guard. "I don't know," he admitted. "Probably not." She smiled gently, the smile of someone who had seen life in all its forms. One day, Michael noticed old canvases and dusty frames among her belongings. The paintings were stunning. "You were an artist," he said softly. "I was a long time ago," she answered. "Why did you stop?" She lowered her eyes. "Fear," she whispered. "After what happened with Victor, I couldn't touch a brush again. Every stroke felt like it would bring the past back." Michael silently found an old paint set and handed it to her. "Try," he said. Her hands trembled at first, but slowly confidence returned. Colors appeared on the canvas. Shapes formed. A city emerged, the city of her memories. "I haven't painted in years," she murmured. Michael watched her transformation. The art was bringing her back to life. "That's beautiful," he said. She smiled, truly smiled, for the first time. Later, Olivia told him the truth about her past. A powerful art dealer named Victor Kane had pulled her into a criminal scheme involving forged paintings. When her husband Daniel tried to protect her, he was killed. To save her young son from threats, Olivia had made the most painful decision of her life. She gave him up for adoption and disappeared. Michael felt anger and sorrow for her. With his resources, he helped organize her first exhibition in decades. The show was a success. Her talent was undeniable. At the exhibition, an old friend named Robert appeared. He had evidence against Victor, proof of years of fraud. Together, the three of them planned to expose him. At a high-profile charity auction, Olivia faced Victor again. With evidence and authorities present, his criminal network finally collapsed. The fear that had haunted her for decades disappeared. But the most important moment came later. In the quiet garage, Olivia confessed the truth she had hidden all these years. Michael was her son. She had given him up to protect him from Victor. His world shattered, and suddenly made sense at the same time. The loneliness, the unanswered questions, the emptiness. The woman he had helped was his mother. "I loved you every day," she whispered. He embraced her tightly. "Mom." They talked for hours about the past, lost years, and the future. "We lost so much time," Michael said, "but I don't want to lose another minute." "Can you forgive me?" she asked. He smiled through tears. "For saving my life?" They held each other. Two people who had been alone for years, finally reunited against all odds. Their story wasn't about revenge. It wasn't even about justice. It was about love. A love strong enough to survive time, fear, and separation. And ahead of them was a new life together.